What's going on, Lions fans? We are happy to be here today. It is a great day to talk Lions. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, but today and every Tuesday and Thursday, we are here to talk just primarily Detroit Lions. We're happy to be here to talk to all you real Detroit Lions fans out there. And we have a packed show for you guys. We got some good content coming, and we got an awesome panel today. And right next to me is Right or Wrong. What's going on, Right or Wrong? Say hello to the people in the chat.
What's going on, guys? Excited to be here tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Jim Bordeaux, what's going on, man, of the Detroit Sports Room? How's it going, man?
Going better. It's been a rough week so far. So, doing pretty good. And I'm glad to be here talking Lions with everybody.
Yeah, we're glad to have you as well. JMO, 313 JMO, Heart of the City. We're trying to get you to 1,000. If you haven't subscribed to JMO, I don't know what you're doing. What's going on, JMO?
Man, what's good, everybody? Ready to talk some Lions football, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Luke G, man. Luke G Field Review. How you doing, man?
Man, listen. This is the day that I wait for. This is my getaway from the get down of the work down. People, sports is life. You know how they say ball is life? Sports is life. Get ready for a good show. Make sure you hit that like button, that notification bell, and that subscribe button. And get your popcorn ready and a little bit of extra butter. It's going to be some spiciness today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself. And last but not least, my partner in crime, my brother, my best friend. What's going on, Andrew?
What's going on, folks? I'm excited to be here. I was going to say what's going on, my brother from another mother, but you took half of that from me, so it is what it
all
is.
Right. Hey, we're all brothers here.
So can we go ahead and solve this? Who is Tony Stark and who is Captain America? Or is this like a Wonder Twin activate type thing going on?
All right.
Well, if you saw the thumbnail,
here is the Wonder Twin.
If you saw the thumbnail, I am Tony Stark. Just saying. Andrew,
okay,
Right.
okay.
It's Thor.
Okay.
Ain't nobody cap over there, man.
Luke, you're the Hulk.
I'll be the Hawk for sure. For sure. You will not like me when I'm angry. I'm with you.
I didn't even make it, so.
Yeah, he made that a while ago.
One Pride Nation says he's going to sub to 313 JMO. That's what I'm talking about. We're getting JMO to 1,000 subscribers. I don't know how you're not there yet.
Now really quick, he got a channel. There. One Pride Nation has a channel. I subscribed to his channel, I want to say 3 weeks or a month ago. But he does have a channel. So also make sure you check out One Pride Nation, who does have a channel talking about the Detroit Lions. So make sure you show support to the Pride Nation out there, man, because I do know he has a channel. So One Pride, put in there the link to your channel so people can know where your channel is at, so you can get some people coming over there to see what you're doing over there as well, man.
Yeah. Shout out One Pride Nation. I'll have to check you out as well. But as far as the people in the chat, we got Kyle Webb, One Pride Nation, myself, and Detroit Drew. What's up, guys? The chat's gonna get blown up soon, but just say hello to the the day ones, I guess. So we're gonna get right into it right away, and this is gonna be the main topic of the day, and I'm excited to talk about this, but sad at the same time. So the NFL Players Association has announced that 72 players that have been tested positive for COVID-19 as of July 10th. So not a lot of news beyond that has been posted. And we know that, training camp is, a couple weeks away. Basketball is trying to start up. We don't know how the sports world is going to look in a couple months. But as of now, hearing that news, 72 players. And we also heard news about the face guards, the mouth guards on the helmets to possibly prevent the spreading of COVID. But hearing that news, right or wrong, I'm going to start with you. What do you think when you hear that? And how confident are you that we're actually going to have a season in 2020?
I mean, that's kind of disappointing to hear. I think on the NFL website, it said that's roughly 2.5% of roster players. So that might not sound like a lot, but 2.5% is, a decent amount. But I think we're still going to have a season. I mean, these guys want to play from an athlete's perspective. Like, you want to go out and play the sport you love to play. So I think that they will find a way. But, I mean, it's definitely going to be tough this year because they still have so many more things that they got to figure out. And if people are already getting it and they're not even in training camp yet, it might be a bumpy ride. But I still think that they're going to find a way to play football this year.
I'm with you. Especially, when there are billions of dollars on the line. you'd think that they're gonna find a way to play,
Right,
like
yeah.
in between the players and the owners and all that. There's all this on the line. They got to find a way, and I'm hoping so as well, because we've been talking about the Lions. We've been part of the DSA talking about the Lions for a while, and we haven't even been on during the season. I want a season under my belt with the DSA, but we don't get that yet. But Jim, what do you think when you hear this news, man? 72 players tested positive as of July 10th. So that doesn't even count any players that got tested positive after July 10th. That's just before July 10th, and we still haven't even started training camp. What does that news, what do you think when you hear that, and how confident are you that we're going to actually have a season?
It's weird because everything that they say coming out of the NFL is we're going to play. But every time we come up to a major point in the season, i.e. some of the preseason games, the other thing, the Hall of Fame ceremony, all that stuff, we start canceling, and we haven't actually had any games or anything. And right now, I can tell you, I am very disheartened by the news. Let's put it that way. And I'm questioning whether we're going to have a season.
Yeah. I think most of us are in that boat. It's hard. It's hard to really, gauge how dangerous this is, just because, like we said, training camp hasn't even started yet. So these players aren't even interacting with each other. And you already have 72 testing positive as of July 10th. But JMO, hearing that news, what about you, man? How do you feel going into the season? Do you feel confident that we're going to have a season? What's going on in your brain?
I'm obviously confident we're gonna have a season, unless it's about NFL it's a story driven league, it's a market driven league, so it's going to be about the players and the profile. You haven't heard about that happening to any quarterbacks, and we were talking about off air about how many players it is in the NFL. So it's about 1,700, and that's not including the extra roster people they have or the practice squad people. So it's probably way more than that. And 70 people. It just depends on where this happened at. The NFL didn't start their bubble. They haven't brought the players in yet for training camp. So as long as there's no players when they start the training camp getting in, then that's different. We've even talked about what's going to happen if the season does start and a player gets COVID during the season, and how many weeks they will have to miss, and how that can mess up a season or maybe even stop the season because that happens to someone. So we've gone over this before, and I'm not surprised that NFL players get COVID. They're regular people too. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, you hear about celebrity every day. A different one is something happened to them. So I think the NFL is going to have the season regardless. Like I said, if they got to shorten the games, I don't care what they got to do. I know they're going to do it in order to make sure they have a season. And the NFL hasn't announced a cancellation or, that they're pushing back training camp, and training camp is in about like 12 days. So unless they announce, they pushing back training camp, then that's when I'll start to be a little bit alarmed. But I think the season is definitely going on.
Okay, I mean, yeah, you make a good point, because there haven't been a lot of prolific players that have gotten it, at least recently. Like, I know that Von Miller got it in the past, Ezekiel Elliott got it in the past, but it seems like they've recovered, or at least we haven't heard any new news from that. But yeah, I mean, if they push training camp back, that'll definitely be a red flag for sure. I do want to say welcome, Chris Kaba. I don't know how to say your last name. I apologize if I mispronounce it, but welcome to the chat. Valerie Bordeaux, queen of the Bears Nation. So we're proud to have you as well. And you can call me Funk. What's going on, guys? Luke, this news from the NFLPA is coming out. 72 players tested positive as of July 10th. How does that, what do you think about that? And what does that do to your confidence of us having a season this year?
Well, I think in terms of my confidence, it doesn't do anything to my confidence. It just says that proper planning makes for a better situation. And right now, that's not what's happening. I wish these players recognize that what they've been told is the truth. Too many people believe that this is all a hoax. That it's nothing more than a common cold. I've had many common colds. Ain't nan one of them brought me to the brink of death. So I'm trying to figure this out as to why these players are doing this. I saw a recent video of Patrick Mahomes on a boat with a bunch of people with his girlfriend and Travis Kelce's wife, and Travis Kelce, and they all partying and beer chugging, and I'm thinking, did you not get the memo? Maybe the numbers didn't scare you. Maybe the 130 million people didn't scare you. These athletes have to understand to be selfish in this time, to be more concerned about themselves right now. What does this mean for the season? It means that we still got a lot of young, dumb people with a whole lot of money who can't control themselves. Like the average Joe, me, you, like we get this kind of money. We in the house doing all kind of stupid stuff. Some of these people have.
Hey, look! I got a question. You said the athletes they not basically doing right by themselves. Do you think that's why no quarterbacks is no quarterbacks because the QBs is like I can't let nothing happen to me. I'm the whole franchise because I haven't heard of any quarterbacks.
Well, this is what's happening. You have some people who are doing stuff responsibly. Like it is. I remember it was like an article. It was really a low key article where it talked about Stafford had got tested, and when it came back negative, he only went around people who had been tested who came back negative. Okay, good damn start. But now when you start doing the extra stuff, like I'm not trying to be funny. There's about at least a good 40 different food delivery services, right? And I'm just thinking to myself, all this money you got, you have no reason to leave this house at all. Literally. Like you can literally shelter yourself in place and live your best life. Like Tyreek Hill makes me proud of what he do. Tyreek Hill has a YouTube channel. He sits there in the house all day playing different games, talking to his fans, and living his best life. I think that once this thing gets closer, teams are going to have to come up with strategic plans to make the season last. So doing something to the effect of having like 30 of your players in mandatory camp, and the other ones in the secondary camp where you don't have to have them around each other so much. So you got a smaller group. That way, if anyway in the first 30 gets knocked down, you still got a host of other players who can still keep going. But overall, I'm not concerned. I just wish these players understand that this thing is real and take it serious. Take it serious. Okay? Because I can tell you from personal experience, I know of 18 people who have passed from this. It is not a game. So for me, the season I think will still happen. The NFL, if they had to shorten the season, they'll just be like, forget preseason to get a plan in place. But they're not going to have no season. That's not going to happen. I just don't see that happening.
Well, man, you said you had 18 people personally that have passed from this. I'm very sorry to hear that, man. That is terrible. But I think you said pretty much the reason why these players are still going out, man. They're guys in their early 20s that have millions and millions of dollars, man. If I had girls all over me and millions and millions of dollars, there would be nothing stopping me from going out and being on a boat as well. But
I'm just saying, like it's so much more you can do. Like they have enough money where they can rent a boat and just be away from each other on their own boat. It's just too much you can do. And a lot of people are just like, hey, you good? Yeah, I'm good. All right, let's go partying. Yeah. Like stop with this.
I hear you. I'm with you 100%. 100% because I want the season to come back so bad. So I'm with you 100%. Please stay away from each other. Wear your masks, all the players, and let's get it. But hopefully they also open it up for the fans to come into the stadiums as well. But I don't know how plausible that is. But Andrew, you've heard everybody on the panel. What do you think about the news? 71, 72? 72 players got tested positive as of July 10th. And, we still don't know about the players that have tested after that, or, training camp hasn't even started yet. How confident are you that we're going to have a season, man?
I'm pretty confident, man. I mean, if you watch what's going on, it just seems like, with the fact that we have more tests available, it just, 1 + 1 = 2. You have more tests, you complete more tests, more people are going to, come out and be positive for it. And if you look at all the players, almost every single one of them is saying, like, I can't wait for the season. They're all fiending, So unless the government comes out and says that they are not allowed to have a season, I 100% think there will be a season.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm torn because I feel the same way. Since there's so much money on the line, I feel like no matter what, there's going to be some sort of season. whether it's shortened or whether it's in Disneyland or whatever, just like basketball. I feel like there will be a season of some kind. But, with all these cases coming out and we haven't even started training camp, they haven't even started playing together. It's going to be tough when that happens and we see the data coming out of that, because if we're getting more and more and more cases, I don't know what they're going to do. And it just frightens me because it's been so long without football. It seems like that I just need it. And especially with this quarantine and staying at home, I'm just so dang bored. But
yeah, listen, can I interject for a moment? I just want people to understand something. This how bad this country needs sports. The need for distraction is so strong right now. If my only distraction is going to be Madden, and I'm not even buying Madden this year for the first time in years, if that's my only distraction, I'm in trouble, people. You might get videos of me knitting. You might see videos of me chasing cats. I don't know. I'm gonna lose my mind. To the NFL people out that's listening, to the people that talk to the NFL people in the room that's listening, please tell them to stop playing Russian roulette with this. It is not because I need the football. It's because I need the numbers to go down so we can somehow get to normalcy if people just take it serious. Which just brought me to a point of a quote. But go ahead, man.
I just don't know how this is ever going to leave, because even once we get a vaccine, it's just going to mutate just like every other virus does. So it's tough to even envision what a world looks like. I watch TV. I watch TV, right? And there was, it was a replay of something that was like 6 months ago, and all these people were shaking hands and stuff. And I'm like, they shouldn't even be that close. And I just, it's just weird to even envision going back to normal now that this is around. It's weird because it introduced this virus to the world that it's almost like an STD. Like, you don't want to have unprotected sex, but like how do you have you can't protect yourself from this virus. So it's just really weird and really, really, I just don't know how we're going to get back to a state of normalcy, but it's okay. We'll get through it together. But anyway, there's been different proposals of what the NFL might do to get back to playing and have a normal season going on. And one of the things is that they've ordered all of these Oakley mouth guards for their helmets. I'm sure you guys have seen pictures of them and stuff. But my question to you guys is, how might that affect the game itself? You have a lot of communication going on in between plays. How might this affect, is each team going to have, we already know that the quarterback has like an earpiece to the coach and stuff like that, but not every player has that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think every player has that. Is that something that we might have to implement, or is this going to cause communication errors in the game, or what's going to happen? Because, a mouth guard over your face, like, it's hard to just even wear a mask and go outside. And now you're asking these players to run at top speed with pretty much a fishbowl over their head because it's completely closed. So right or wrong, I'm going to go with you, man. How do you think this might affect the game? And do you think it's even going to be effective for this virus?
I mean, I'm more worried about if they're going to be able to breathe in that thing more than communication. Right. Like, those things are closed. Like, if you're running hard and those pads are not light, I mean, those pads are heavy. By the end of the game, they're breathing hard. And I mean, NFL players have come out and said they don't like the idea of those face masks because they're not going to be able to breathe. But like, I mean, it might cause communication, but I'm more worried just how it's going to affect their endurance and how well they're able to sustain. I don't know the word, I guess, just how well their stamina is going to be, because they're not going to be able to breathe the same if they have those huge masks over their face and eyes and everything. I mean,
that's a really good point. That's a really good point. Yeah. Like, I mean, I could hardly, like, people call me a baby, but like, I could hardly breathe if I go to the gym with my mask on. So yeah, I mean, how are they going to have this basically fully enclosed helmet while they're going at full speed? That's a good point, Ryder. Jim, what do you think about this, man? What do you think about these Oakley mouth pieces? And, do you think it's going to be effective? How do you think it's going to affect, the player's endurance, like Right or Wrong brought up? And also, possibly any communication errors as well.
Yeah, I don't know about this. I don't know if it's even going to help. So I don't know. I'd have to wait and see how things played out. To be honest, I think I'm more worried about even having a season at this point rather than those mouth guards or whatever. But The impact on the game, I do think they'll get more tired out. They haven't had enough training in the first place, so everything points to me that this is not going to be a good thing. That's all I got to say about it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that right or wrong, you brought up a really good point. Like you see players in Denver when they get done running, they get on those oxygen tanks. We're going to need those in every single stadium if we have a season, because seriously, it's going to be difficult to breathe. And honestly, when I did see a picture, it looked like there were holes in it. So like there must be holes for you to breathe somehow. But then what are you actually preventing? If the air is still coming out, I guess what is the point? I really don't understand. But JMO, I mean, have you seen these? What do you think about them, and how do you think it might affect the game?
I mean, I just feel like it's not gonna work, and it's not gonna happen. Like this, not gonna work. They I don't even think it's gonna make it to like the players playing on the field with it. To be honest with you, I think they're gonna nip this in the bud eventually. The players don't like it for a reason. You cannot play. If you gonna play football like that, then there's no point in playing. Like, so we're hindering their breathing and things of that. I've seen it. It's not gonna work. I don't think it's gonna happen actually. So I really don't. I think like the players are gonna do something about this, or when they like start doing the trials or whatever, it's just they're gonna realize, this is something that we can't do. Because I don't think they're gonna do this. Like they're gonna have to figure out another way to work around not spreading it. I don't know what they got to do, but they got to figure out something. But this obviously isn't the solution.
Yeah, it's a bad situation all the way around. It's really like, you pick one evil over the other, because honestly, like having the masks, you might be preventing something. But what kind of harm are you doing to those players? Just by they might be passing out on the field, something like that might occur as well. But Luke, what do you think about these masks, about these mouth guards? And do you agree with JMO that they were probably not even going to be implemented? Like, why are we even talking about this?
This is stupid. It's stupid. let's come on, people. Let's okay. Listen, stay with me. First of all, there's three things. I hear my people on the panel talking and stuff. There are three. First of all, the mask is stupid within itself because we are not still 100% sure on how it spreads. We got some ideas of it, but cool. But putting this on the mask is stupid because one of the reasons that the face masks are designed the way they are is because they want medical personnel to be able to see certain facial cues to see certain things. On top of that, they got to worry about concussion protocols and stuff like that. All right, now, this idea that if they did put this on there, they cannot breathe is BS. There's a number of athletes who train with freaking masks on a regular basis because it helps builds up lung capacity and it helps builds up stamina. Only thing I can see is this. If they do try to implement this and some players want it, cool. I don't think it changes anything. I think the lack of being able to get into real live action is going to be the thing that affects the game. Like right now, I haven't played football in years, but if you hit me, it's going to take my body a minute to remember what that was like, and I'm probably going to feel it for days. So my thing is you have to be able to have live action reps to recreate this. And I don't expect for it to affect the game at all, other than the fact that they didn't have a full training camp, especially for the teams who is coming in with new head coaches, who was coming in with new GMs and all these new counterparts. Yeah, they can have a little bit of a problem. But if your coach being here for like our coach 3 years, y'all should be picking up business as usual and be better because you should already know what's going on. So this idea that it's going to affect the game, I'm not buying. If a person is that worried about going out there and getting breathed on by somebody, how in the hell you make a tackle? Like, I just want to know what is the plan? Are we two-hand touching it? Are we snatching off flags? If they're going to blow the whistle when you get in the vicinity, what's the plan? If all these are the things that they're going to worry about, then they might as well go ahead and cancel the season now.
No, right now they might as well not play at all because, like, if you're worrying about people breathing on people, like, it's over with. Like,
it makes no sense. Like, it just makes no sense. Like, it's like this is nothing new, and I don't like this idea that like, oh, if they get these mad, they can't breathe. It's a myth. You can breathe through a damn mask. I don't care now if they put a bag on your head. Good luck. But
wait, what?
not,
Okay, I'm confused. Listen, I understand the high altitude masks. Look, I have one. I've seen one. I've trained with one. That doesn't necessarily mean that everybody can perform with one, especially if they've never done it before. And honestly, you're telling me O linemen are going to be cool? You know, these bigger guys. With these, same kind of things on. No, like the reason why they use those high altitude masks is to get their endurance up and stuff. So if they're not used to that and they're not acclimated to that, and then you just start off right off the bat, especially with hardly any practice, because we didn't have a mini camp, we might get a shortened off training camp and obviously a shortened preseason. Now you're going to jump into the season and you got these 300-400 pound O linemen wearing these, masks. I don't buy it, Luke. I don't buy that it's just super easy to breathe. I don't buy that at all. I go to the gym and I'm on the Stairmaster with my mask on. I'm about to die, and I'm and I'm not 400 pounds, man.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why their situation is different than what you thinking. I'm gonna tell you why. The face mask is on the helmet is not close to the face. So the mask that they're talking about developing attaches to the face mask, which means from the chin to the neck is all open. If you can't breathe through that, God bless you. I mean, what the hell?
I didn't know all that. I didn't know that the chin.
They're not giving them no whole damn helmet like we in NASCAR. They're not doing that. They're going to put something just like a visor. How you put a visor? Because people don't realize there's a lot of people who have played in the NFL who had a visor because they didn't want to wear goggles or contact lenses, so they had a visor to see, like glasses. It's the same thing. They're attaching it to the face mask. So if a person, whether they are 400 pounds or 300 pounds, come up and have to wear that damn thing and say, I can't breathe, you are a damn lie. You got so much room to breathe. It's ridiculous. A face mask, think about this. The face mask is designed, I think it's to be like 3 inches away from the face, something like that. So that way when you have impact, it protects your face. So if it's a mask attached to the actual grill of the face mask, then that means you shouldn't be able to breathe without the mask being right there, right?
Right.
It just don't make sense.
All right. Okay. I get what you're saying. Andrew, what do you think about these mouth guards? Are you in agreement with Luke and JMO and that it's probably not even going to happen? And even if it does happen, it's not that big of a deal? Or do you think that it might even affect the game? What do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a mixture of those things. So I'm someone that's been wearing a mask for 40 hours a week since this all happened because I'm in medical facility. And those masks are literally on your nose, on your mouth, and it is difficult to breathe through because it's on top of where you're trying to breathe. And the picture that they posted of this mask, like Luke said, it's a couple inches from your mouth, it's a couple inches from your nose, because obviously you have to have that impact resistance. But like, there's also slits in the mask. So there's so many things I'm thinking about. I'm like, first of all, why the hell do you have it if there's still holes in it of where you're going to be breathing? Right. You know what I'm saying? Because if you cough, right? If you're trying to avoid the particles, you need to have that area closed off or maybe open the visor or something. So there's so many different things wrong with this. And I wouldn't be surprised if they implemented it in terms of like a placebo effect of, the players feel safer, or like people at home think it's safer or whatever. But like, it's not. If you have openings in that mouth nose area, it's equivalent to not wearing one. So if you're going to do something like that and you want to actually still help them be able to breathe, open up the visor, make their eyes, that area, open, and just put the 2 bars. So you still have protection from like an elbow or something, but you can still breathe. And then also, attesting to that, like it is not a NASCAR helmet. You still have all that airflow coming from underneath. You have the airflow through all these slits, all these holes. It's not going to be as hard to breathe as people think. It's not directly over their mouth and nose. So I don't think it's going to impact their ability to breathe or perform, but I think it's just going to agitate them in the sense of like, I can't spit my mouth guard out real quick, or I can't chew on my mouth guard because, a lot of players in between plays, they take it out and they mess with it. But I don't think it's going to matter. And if they do it, it's not going to be really effective. So I just feel like this is when we need Bravo. This is what we need Bravo in the building so he can explain this level of logic, because this is just not true. I'm telling you, it's just not true, people.
I'm looking at it a little bit different, though. Like, the NFL is just cheap, because if y'all really wanted to protect players and you wanted to keep them from, like, spreading stuff, you had them a nice little high-end ventilator super mask helmet. but they don't want to do none of that. They like, yeah, that's just too much for our budget, because that's the way you're gonna really keep the player safe. But
That's
they
true.
could care less. Instead, we're gonna put some holes in your mask and we're gonna extend it. Why? Like, it's not like we don't have the
holes
technology.
been there.
It's not like, no, I'm just saying, it's not like we don't have the technology to do that, but they not gonna pay for that. And I'm just thinking about it from that perspective. It's like I'm starting to think I'm gonna call it the feel good mask. It's the mask to make you feel good about the situation, but it ain't gonna do that. They want to make everybody watch it feel good. It's the feel good mask. Because if y'all really wanted to protect the players, they would have a nice little high end ventilator helmet type thing where you can just breathe through that and you don't have to spread anything. But they not gonna do nothing like that. We know this.
That is 100% true, JMO. Like, if they really wanted to, they can make a helmet. They can put fans in it, air conditioning, so that you could feel cold. You know, you don't pass out. They could do whatever they want. You're right. You're right. They have billions of dollars. They could totally do that, and they choose not to. But okay, enough of that.
Like,
but
the other part of it that we really should be concerned about is the bigger issue. I think instead of this mask, if we don't have a season, it's because they're talking about doing pay cuts on people. That's what we should be concerned with.
Pay cut.
The NFL, the NFL is talking about cutting the players' pay
if there's less games.
No, they're not talking about less games. They talking about period. And people like Patrick Mahomes and Mike Thomas just like, cut my pay and watch me not play. They not bullying. So that's the bigger culprit for us versus COVID. The players themselves ain't worried about COVID. That's why they out having beer pongs and doing all this other stuff.
Actions speak louder than words, man. They out here acting like it's not serious.
Right. Like, and football is already nasty. How many times have you seen somebody lick their fingers and then grab the ball? Or you look up and you look up and they freaking mouthpiece is on their ear, and then they put it back in their mouth. Football is nasty, people. I don't understand. Like I don't know what you're gonna do. Make them watch their hands at every play. This is ridiculous. Let them play. They're gonna play. People want to take certain risks. If they want the risk, let them sign the risk and move on. But this idea of putting on this damn helmet like they finna go skydiving from the atmosphere, it's ridiculous.
That's true. And, Stafford is the number one culprit for a dirty mouth guard, man. He takes it out every second. He damn near wipes his ass with it. I don't even know. But we're going to move on to the next topic. See, listen, guys. So with all this COVID stuff going on, there might be a shortened season. There might not. There might be a lot of players out, significant players that might, ruin some team's chances of winning. If, and this is a big if the Lions won the Super Bowl this year, their only Super Bowl ever, during a shortened pandemic season where some of our competitors have players that are not playing because of COVID, how would you view that victory? Would you, celebrate just like it's a normal victory and go crazy? Because I would. Or, is it a bittersweet type of victory to you because we only might have won because some other players weren't playing, or there's a shortened season, so we kind of lucked into the playoffs? What do you guys think of that? I'm going to start off with you, Andrew. What do you think of that, man?
Dude, I don't care what happens. If we win the Super Bowl, I don't care what the circumstances are. We won the Super Bowl. Right? Like everyone's in the same situation. It's like injuries. Like if your star quarterback goes down, you still made the Super Bowl. Like Philly, you still won the damn Super Bowl. Like everyone has injuries. Everyone's gonna have players that are getting sick. It just who showed up and who showed up in the playoffs. So if we win the Super Bowl, I am 100% positive that people are gonna talk shit and be like, "Oh, you guys didn't win no Super Bowl. You won it during this stupid pandemic." I don't care what they say. I promise you, I will be hype no matter what. It's the freaking Super Bowl.
I'm with you, but it will be better. Listen, if it's a shortened season, I don't care. But if 30% of the players in the whole league have COVID and they're out, and like the quarterbacks are out, Aaron Rodgers is not even playing, Patrick Mahomes not even playing, and we have an easy ride to the championship because our team is relatively healthy compared to the rest of the league, I think it will be a little bittersweet, man. There will be that asterisk next to that championship for me. And I would hate for that to happen, but it seems like the painting's on the walls because we're the Lions. But Luke, what do you think, man? Would that be a bittersweet victory, or are you, full charge? We won the damn Super Bowl.
I'm gonna do my best not to be negative. I don't want that Super Bowl. I don't.
Oh man,
Go
you don't
home.
even want it?
Go home.
I'm finna show you. I'm finna show you why. Here's my problem. If Mike Tyson knock out one of y'all and win a championship, do you really think people care? It's not. No one cares. Like if there's a dunk contest and it's just you, so you automatically win. Did you really win the dunk contest? The way that makes the Super Bowl so special is the fact that you grinded it out, you beat up other teams, you got through certain things that the other teams didn't get through, whether you stayed more healthy or you had more injuries. On one end, I kind of disagree with you a little bit, real. Like if they stay healthy and won it, then you got to look at it and be like, well, if they did something good, they stayed more healthy than other teams. However, that Super Bowl will be viewed as a participation trophy. And the Lions got enough material for raunchy, disrespectful insults. Who is going to respect that Super Bowl? No one. If we had won it with replacement players, nobody's going to respect that. They're going to just look at it and be like, yeah, but y'all won it when everybody was at home bowling, chilling with their girlfriends and stuff. I don't want that. I want to know that I beat you. When the Pistons beat the Bulls, it wasn't nothing nobody could tell me. It was the freaking Bulls. They had Jordan, and we beat up on them, and we won. It was no ifs, ands, or buts. There's no asterisks. I don't care who knows we bust, who we dropped on the court. It was earned. If we just magically get it because everybody else decided, you know what, I don't want to play, it makes us look worse because now it's like, yeah, they didn't get their first Super Bowl until the most improbable situation occurred. I want it to be earned. I want to have the pride of being like, I beat down everybody. I choked them out. I snuffed them out, and we won. If I don't have that, then to me, they can keep that trophy. It's sort of like giving the kid the trophy who's been riding the bench all season. I don't want that.
Luke, man, I hear you, man. But listen, beggars can't be choosers, bro. Like, come on, man. Like, dude, we are dying for this championship. I want it regardless. But J-Mo, what do you think?
This
You heard
is
two
my
different.
thing.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead and interrupt.
Go ahead,
All right.
bro.
No. It's all you, bro.
Bro, I was going to let you take it, man.
No, I was just going to ask you, what do you think? There's two opposite opinions here. Andrew says he would definitely take that Super Bowl. Luke says you could have it. What do you think, man?
I mean, like, why you got to make up the most negative scenario I ever heard with a 30% of the league and all of the great players aren't there? And of course, it's not going to be a Super Bowl you won. Nobody was there. Like, if you win the championship and it's no LeBron, it's no Kawhi, it's no Giannis, it's no Joel Embiid. It's no Raptors, none of their best players, no Chris Paul, no Rockets, everybody out, and it's just like, it's just like the Mavericks and like the Nuggets. Like who gonna care? So,
right, no one's gonna care.
But that's my thing. But I think if the season was somewhat compromised, I don't know if it will be all of the great players are out or whatever. Because I'm taking this Super Bowl. And I think if it was a shortened season, I'm still taking it. And any of the opposing fans that want to try to ridicule us for this Super Bowl, they can bleep, 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 bleep. And I'll be saying that for bleep, 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 bleep. Like, that's all I got to say to them because I don't care. But, like, of course, if all of the great, like, if Aaron Rodgers is gone, if Aaron Rodgers is gone and let's say Kirk Cousins is gone and let's say Khalil Mack hurt, like what we do? You know what I'm saying? But, like,
we win. Listen, here's the thing.
No, my thing
all
is
that,
the competition matters, though. And to me, it would matter who we beat in the Super Bowl. Like, if the Chiefs made the Super Bowl and we made the Super Bowl, I'm taking that and I'm going to hold it over your head. And I'll be like, I don't care. Through all the circumstances, Patrick Mahomes still lost to us. And I'll be saying it all day and all night. But if we beat, like, a team like, I don't know, let's say a team like the Oakland Raiders or something, like, nobody's going to care. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think it would be that bleak. And I think if we win the Super Bowl, I'm taking it.
Listen, I get everything y'all saying. I peeped out Shay. Shay says deep down Luke really means to say he don't want the Lions to win the Super Bowl because it means that Patricia gets to stay a few more years. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is What I'm saying is this.
Nah, we're gonna be like, they was only 5-2. It was only 7 games.
Like if it's listen, it's one thing if those players were out due to injuries because they were playing through the season. It's another thing where they just like, I'm not playing due to this virus, and we still got players who like, well, we still playing. And now they're playing the waiting game on. Like, you ever seen those old like dance-a-thons where it's like the last group or couple dance and wins the prize? I don't want to be that person, and I don't want to just take it. If we're going to go the route of get it how you can get it, then my thing is we should have been cheating a long time ago. We should have been on that New England Patriots trade a long time ago, cheating, filming practices and everything. We ain't trying hard enough if we just going to try to get it any way we can. I just want to know that I earned it, and I won't feel special if, like I said, if I dunk on my son who's 4 years old, you have to make me a dunk champion. It means that I clearly should be able to dunk on him. But if I dunk on Shaq, now that's another different story. That's a story for the media. And so to me, that's how I look at it. We have to be able to just be like, listen, did we really earn this, or were we just the last one standing where everybody else was refusing to play?
Yeah,
honestly,
but,
though,
if
I
we
just
win the next one though, then you make it legit. Just win another one, and then they can't say nothing about that one.
I personally
That's all you gotta do.
I just don't care. I don't care. I am on the boat where, yeah, you get it where you can. And guess what? The Packers get help from the refs every damn year. Did they just take it? They take it and they get their win and they move on to the playoffs and they go to the NFC Championship. They take it. Or the Dallas Cowboys, when a flag gets picked up against the Detroit Lions, they take it and they move on in the playoffs. You know what I mean? The Patriots, they cheat, they take it, they move on in the playoffs. Everybody considers them the greatest dynasty in sports history. So, listen, the history books don't remember that. It doesn't matter. It really does not matter to me. But Jim,
but you know why though? And then you can go to Jim. The reason they don't remember that is because that is 1 out of 16 or 17 or 18 games. If you tell me that they cheated for the Green Bay Packers 4 games out of 16, fine. There were still 14 games that they had to prove themselves to show like, okay, we ain't need the referees for these games. If you have a shortened season where it's 14 games total, and then all of a sudden you get to week 5, and then this team half they entire starting 22 is out because they like, man, forget COVID, forget this team, and now you beating up on 3rd and 4th stringers. I'm not gonna feel good about that win. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead, Jim.
Yeah, I'm gonna feel good about that win. I'm celebrating.
Yes, sir.
Celebrate good times, bro. No. The parade is gonna happen and the confetti's gonna fly, my friends. The Lions win a Super Bowl. I don't give a care what the circumstances are. I'm 50 years old. I've been waiting for this my entire life. Screw the circumstances. That's a championship in my book.
right. I'm with you 100%. That parade will
I love that
restart
energy,
COVID.
Jim. I love that energy, man.
Jim said, I've been waiting. Jim, how long you been waiting, Jim?
Huh?
How long you been waiting, Jim?
I would say about 44 years, 43 years.
So you said they can give it to you right now. Just be like, hey,
I don't care if
you know
they
what?
cheat
No
like
season.
Green Bay. I don't care if they cheat like New England. New England has championships. Green Bay has championships. Hell, the Bears have championships. I want a title, and I want it here, and I want the Lombardi Trophy. I don't care how we get it.
Even if they put an asterisk next to it, you cool with it.
They can do whatever they want. We got a championship, bro.
Yeah, we could put our own damn
Hey,
here.
that's exactly how Jim gonna sound, man.
Yeah.
Drunk. You want
Yeah, for sure.
They said they can do whatever they want.
They can 3D print one for us. I don't care.
Right.
As long as they recognize it's the championship, I'm good, man.
You think they can give them a 3D version of it? I don't care. As long as they recognize he did.
I said they could 3D print one. And
I feel like it depends on what happens because when the Spurs when they had a shortened season and they won, nobody illegitimized their championship. So it just depends on who. Like I think it really matters who we beat. Like if we beat some run of the mill scrub team, yeah, we'll get criticized. But if we beat one of the elite teams, they're not gonna be able to say nothing regardless of the situation. Because
But Jim said it, man. I don't care. I really, even if we face some scrub team, we could play in a Zoom meeting for the Super Bowl. I don't give a damn.
You cool with it? You cool with beating the Jaguars?
Madden, play on Madden.
Yeah, we could play on Madden. I'm ready.
He said, take our best 3 main players to get theirs. Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm ready.
Now
man.
listen, not a Lions fan did say that happened with the Spurs. I don't count that as a win for them. It's what the Spurs did afterwards that I count. That one where they had that shortened season, I didn't count that as the Spurs. Like, they got that championship.
Everybody else did. That's what I'm saying. Man, like, people don't say Tim Duncan got 4 rings. They say he got 5.
Right.
So,
right.
Look, and just like everyone likes to say, man, you should be able to overcome your stars being out of the game. So, like, everyone has a fair chance, man. We could have our star players be sick. If we win the damn Super Bowl with players going down like Galladay and Trey Flowers and people like that, like, why would you take that away from us?
Right. We beat the other teams and we beat COVID. Exactly.
But what if it's like a 8 to 9 game season?
Don't care.
I don't give a damn. I don't
care if it's a 1-game season, bro. We're gonna
I don't care if it's 1 game.
Walk into playoffs.
What is it going to be?
Rock, paper, scissors,
Champs, baby.
Oh my god, I'm done. Y'all got it. I'm conceding this one. Y'all are crazy.
Writer, man, we haven't gotten to you yet, man, because we were all going crazy. But what do you think about this, man?
Dude, I'm just sitting here laughing, but like, I understand what Luke's saying from his point, but like, if people are gonna criticize the Lions because it was so easy, like, why didn't your team do it? Like, the Lions are still gonna have to beat teams to do it. And then I guess my other thing is every team gonna put an asterisk next to the is every team that beat the Lions this year gonna put an asterisk next to it because they were playing all backups anyway? I mean, we had no starters anyway, so is everybody that beat the Lions after week 8 just going to put an asterisk there because Stafford wasn't playing, half the defense wasn't playing, most of the offense wasn't playing? Like, no, they're counting that win. They're taking it home. Like, so
oh my God.
Give me a champion.
Listen, I can't.
Dude, I'm ready. Give me a champion already.
What did you say, Ryder? You were getting kind of. Hold on, Luke. Let Ryder finish real quick. Sorry.
I said I'm only 17. I haven't waited as long as like Jim, but like I'm already ready for a Super Bowl. I want to see us win now.
Right, exactly.
Hop on the bus, man. Bandwagon's ready to go.
Yeah, get in line.
I conceded. I have conceded. I'm just like, look, yes, I have a little bit of a higher standard. I see right now, y'all like desperate. Y'all like. It could be the fat, ugly chick with the moles on the back, and y'all like, yes, I got it. It's succeeded. Yeah.
Are you going to that parade if we win that Super Bowl?
No.
What?
No. No. I care. I care how it goes down.
But it's not like they're handing it to us. Like, we're still gonna have to beat teams. We're still gonna have to win games.
Yeah, but if we're beating teams second and third strings, it's like it's like a preseason game. Nobody counts those.
Listen.
Second and third string, like what?
Yeah, the other teams in the playoffs and in the Super Bowl, they're obviously going to have to be relatively healthy. Like, how did a third string team make it here? I said 30% of the league. I didn't say 90% and only the Lions.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, for example, let's say we get to the playoffs, right? And when we get to the playoffs, let's say we end up playing the Seattle Seahawks, but Russell Wilson, who's not hurt, he's not playing. None of their starting receivers is playing. Only 2 starting offensive linemen decided to play, and majority of the defense is out. I don't view that as that win the same as I would if we beat them like
then how
with people who were in.
But how is the playoff team gonna be a team that quit mid-season? Like, we don't want to play. Nah, I think whoever we face, we're gonna have to beat some teams to win that championship, no matter what. Like, we're gonna have to beat somebody because it's gonna be somebody who got it together. Because one of all those great teams, one of them always have it together. It's just how they are.
I'll tell you this: I don't care if we have to end the season and vote on it and we win. Send your ballots now because I'm celebrating the damn championship.
Stafford's MVP of the Super Bowl too.
Oh my god! I told y'all I could see. I'm done. I can't take it no more. Y'all, listen. Y'all say by any means necessary. I get it now. I totally get it.
Hey, just play
I just
squad
can't.
on Madden. That's how you decide.
Right.
That's how you gotta
We
do.
win at Madden, I'm still celebrating. They can
Heck
celebrate.
yeah.
Why can't I?
Jim said he don't care if it was a coin flip. We won the coin flip. We won the Super Bowl. I'm taking it. He don't
That's it.
care.
Hey, I'm
That's
Screwed out of a
yeah.
coin
Great,
flip
though.
before too. So yeah, you never know. Those things are hard to win for us.
Okay, again, y'all got this one. I'm out of it.
All right, guys. We got a 33 in the chat right now. Let's get the likes up to at least 30. That'd be awesome, guys. I appreciate all of you here. All right, next topic of the day. So, listen, Colin Cowherd. I don't know how to say his name. He's the host of The Herd on Fox Sports, and he claimed that there are only 11 quarterbacks in the league that are quote unquote good enough to win a Super Bowl, and his list contained these 11 players. I'm going to name them right now. Patrick Mahomes. I already fucked up. I don't even know why. Let me just name these people. All right. Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Carson Wentz, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Deshaun Watson, Matt Ryan, Jared Goff, and Jimmy Garoppolo. I believe that was 11 all.
Those lads.
He obviously did not put Stafford in there, and he put some players that, at least to me, are questionable as to why you would put them over players like Stafford. So the question that I'm going to propose is, what do you think about this list? And is there players that you would remove, and are there players that you would add? Ryder, let's start with you, man. What do you think?
I mean, most of that list is solid, like Mahomes and Lamar, and those guys I think are for sure. But Jimmy Garoppolo was on one of the most stacked teams in the NFL last year and didn't do anything against the Chiefs defense. And you can say the same against Jared Goff. Like when they went to the Super Bowl, that team was stacked and they couldn't win a Super Bowl. And they're in my opinion, they are nowhere near Stafford's level. And Colin Cowherd has gone on air a lot of times and said Matthew Stafford's so great, he can make any throw. I think when we gave him the biggest contract in NFL history, he's worth every single penny. But then he turns around the next day and goes, "Yep, Stafford can't win a game. Stafford can't do this. Stafford can't do that." Like he changes his mind so often to fix the narrative that he wants to put out there. Like it just I can't take his list seriously a lot of the time.
Wow, I every single word you said was right out of my mouth. Seriously, like I literally have a note down about Garoppolo and about Goff, about their teams being so stacked. So you just took those words out of my mouth. That was awesome. Jim, man, what do you think about the list? Let me say it one more time.
Please do, because I'm old.
Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Carson Wentz, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Deshaun Watson, Matt Ryan, Jared Goff, and Jimmy Garoppolo are his 11 quarterbacks that he believes can win a Super Bowl.
Oh, but okay? I'm gonna flip the script here. Is it because they are on better teams?
No. He said
Jim,
that these quarterbacks are good enough.
Huh? Say it again, J-Mo. I didn't hear you.
I said, don't give him no passes. He ain't say none of that. No,
I'm just saying because San Francisco probably has a better team than we do, so that would answer the Garoppolo thing. But for me, Stafford has to be one of those quarterbacks. Do I get rid of anybody? Garoppolo, probably. There's a few others in there. Matt Ryan, even I don't think is wonderful, and I don't think he's going to the Super Bowl. He hasn't proven that yet to me, but I don't think you can exclude Stafford from that list, especially when he's in the top 5 in just about every category last year. I mean, yeah, it was an injury shortened season, but no, yeah, you know what? This is just a bunch of BS, but that's okay. That's what I think.
Jared Goff can't do anything without Sean McVay.
Man,
for real.
Yes.
Yeah, J-Mo, why don't you take it? What do you think about this list? Is there anyone that you would remove from the list? Anyone that you would add?
First of all, there is no such thing as these amount of quarterbacks can win a Super Bowl. Look, I'm gonna name you some quarterbacks. Y'all not gonna like what I'm about to say. That can win a Super Bowl. Dak Prescott, Kirk Cousins, Nick Foles. Those guys, Trent Dilfer. like it doesn't matter the caliber of quarterback. It's about a guy that fits into a system and does what his team needs him to do at the right time. You had Ryan Tannehill being carried to an NFC Championship game, and if Mahomes don't have some crazy run, they probably lose to the Titans.
Rex Grossman.
And Rex Grossman. Like, and so how can Jared Goff and Jimmy Garoppolo and Carson Wentz win you Super Bowls when Jared Goff lost the Super Bowl? Jimmy Garoppolo lost the Super Bowl. Carson Wentz let Nick Foles win his Super Bowl. And then, so like, what are we talking about? And of course, Stafford belongs in the list. Well, my thing is the list isn't hinging on some star quarterbacks. Like, you could have a great, complete football team and an average quarterback at the helm. I mean, we saw Case Keenum take the Vikings to the NFC Championship. You know what I'm saying? We saw Nick Foles do what he did. I mean, we saw Joe Flacco on stack team, so it can happen. It's not a limit to how good or great the quarterback can be in order for you to win the Super Bowl. When Mahomes was in the Super Bowl, he threw 2 picks, and they still won. He didn't have a great quarterback game. So I just feel like it's not hinging on a certain amount of guys. Of course, Stafford is one of those guys. You put him on a great team, they're going to win the Super Bowl. But to me, it's a lot of quarterbacks that can win the Super Bowl. It's a whole lot of them. Most of the quarterbacks can win the Super Bowl if you put a good enough team around them. So I just like Colin Cowherd, man, you can go blank yourself. And like, I'm just sick of this guy, man. Like I don't like him, man. I'm just sick of this guy.
Okay, I think you bring up a good point. Like, yeah, like there's been quarterbacks in the past that have won Super Bowls on great teams. There's been, quarterbacks that have made it to the Super Bowl on great teams and lost on this list. So, it's hard to determine, what is a Super Bowl winning quarterback or a quarterback that can win a Super Bowl or good enough to win a Super Bowl. But Luke, you hear this list, and if you want me to name it off, I'll name it off again. But you hear this list.
I got the names.
all right, good, because I don't want to mess up again. But going off this list, is there anyone that you would add? Is there anyone that you would remove, or are you like JMO, where you're like, this list is just utter garbage because of just the what it's based off of in general?
The way I'm chalking this list up is to like a person who's been in the desert without water. He starts to hallucinate. He sees things that's not there. And he feels good about the thing that he's seeing, even though it's really not there. I think COVID-19 ain't generating no real stories. So what does Colin got to do? He's got to see things that's not there and make it up. First of all, Jared Goff leads somebody to a Super Bowl. He barely leads his team to wins. Let's get that out the way.
Yeah.
Matt Ryan is a quarterback who went to a Super Bowl, but nobody's going to tell you it was because of him that they got there. There were so many other factors. And then this idea that quarterbacks lead these teams to Super Bowls disgusts me, because this is another stupid stat that people come up with when the reality is most of the teams that go to there ain't nobody who's going to tell me a trash team who went to the Super Bowl and won. And it had nothing to do with the quarterback. It's the team. The team is as a complete whole. And then he had the audacity to throw Jimmy Garoppolo. Like, what has Jimmy Garoppolo did? They ran their way and played defense to their Super Bowl. And then the moment they asked him to throw it, all hell broke loose. So I'm trying to figure this out on what Colin is talking about. What is Colin going through? So I know he's thirsty. He needs some water. So somebody grab him a Sprite and some Gatorade, because that's what's going on here. He's thirsty as hell.
Oh, wow.
Because who comes up? This all started because he was talking about Dak Prescott. It was saying Dak Prescott can't lead the Cowboys to a Super Bowl. But like y'all heard from my people here, Rex Grossman went to a Super Bowl. I mean, who the fuck is that? Trent Dilfer went to a Super Bowl. like Trent Dilfer. Like seriously, listen, dude. Watch this. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers won a Super Bowl. Name their quarterback. You want to love that guy. He's a Hall of Famer, right? Do y'all know who the Tampa Bay Buccaneers won a Super Bowl with? It's about the team. The idea that these quarterbacks are leading them anywhere is a joke. That's why people look at Kansas City, and I'm like, Kansas City, y'all got y'all won Super Bowl. Great. Y'all should feel good. Because now with that contract, it ain't going to happen again. This list is like that poop that you go into the bathroom that you've been holding for so long, and it comes out like water. And you upset, you like, what the hell? Like this is just a bunch of crap. It's nothing about this list that stands out to me to get all hype. They literally, I can name so many teams who have won Super Bowls and not one of those quarterbacks were top 20 in the league at quarterback. Not even close. So
look at Eli.
Bruh, listen, hold on, listen. Go down the list. Go down the list. Joe Flacco, where he at? Where he at?
Right now?
Like there's so many. I'm just saying there are so many.
He's saying in general, like when you think of Joe Flacco, like
where's he at?
Joe Flacco is a guy that you gonna always remember. He had 1 year and that was it. Like nothing else. 1 year.
That's it. That's it. People forget the year that the Lions went to the NFC Championship game and lost to the Washington Redskins, or was it the Buffalo Bills? I'm drawing a blank right now. The Redskins. Okay. They forget that when we went that year, the quarterback that we had wasn't even top 30. All right. He was probably like, you don't need these like super quarterbacks to do it. So the idea to lead people off a list or create a list that said that they're going to lead them is asinine to me. And it's disgusting to the fact that I know he's thirsty. He dehydrated. He need an IV. He need to get that shit popping. I know it's stressful, but he got to find another way, man. He got to do something different. It's not. Listen, y'all, don't take this list serious. Don't take. Otherwise, you're gonna be doing drugs, and that's not good for nobody. You stealing your parents' shit.
No.
Yeah, just say no, man. Don't do it. This whole list is a joke, man.
All right. Well, we still got one more person. Andrew, man, what do you think about this list? Is it complete and utter garbage, or should this list be taken seriously? And should there just be different players on it? Would you add or remove anybody? Do you want me to name the people again?
Nah, man. I got this list like engraved in my head.
Dude, right.
Wow, that
right.
must look terrible in the mirror.
Letters on my face. This list is just so freaking stupid. I mean, if you look at it,
God.
for one, I don't know if anyone caught this, but 8 of the 11 are in the NFC. 8 of the 11 are in the NFC. Okay, I just want to point that out. Okay, and the reason why it caught my eye so quickly is that everyone is always saying, oh, my team did so well. Where are the Lions? Well, the Lions fucking verse playoff teams everywhere they look in the NFC. The NFC has so much better talent than the AFC, and that's why they only listed 3 quarterbacks from the AFC. And it's just stupid. It is so stupid. Like JMO said, like Luke said, like everyone's saying, dude, the sport is a team game. Why did Nick Foles win? You telling me Nick Foles is a star quarterback? Why the hell has he done? He's on his third team. He's on his
don't respect Foles, bro. He balled out.
Chill. Hold on. My dude is on his third team in like 2 years, okay? Joe Flacco, Eli Manning, Peyton when he had his crap season. There's quarterbacks that have been to the Super Bowl that were average. Dude, it matters on your defense, your running ability, your coaching, the competition you had going up against, in the playoffs. Everything matters. If I were to add to this list, you know who I'd add? Every starting quarterback. I would literally add every starting quarterback to this list because if it was that easy to predict what quarterbacks could win a Super Bowl and this and that, you're pretty much saying those 11 teams are the only teams that can win the Super Bowl this upcoming year. That is the dumbest shit I've ever heard because I guarantee
it's so stupid.
It means the Bears are going to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like Nick Foles.
Right. Every single year there is a team that surprises us. Okay. So like, what about Big Ben? They had the top 2 defense last year. They had a run game. They had everything clicking for them besides quarterback. Big Ben comes back. Why can't they win the Super Bowl? You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate lists like this, and Colin Cowherd is by far the dumbest person on TV. I freaking hate seeing his stuff because every time I want to like just punch myself in the face because I'm like, how the hell are you doing this for a living? Literally,
really
how are you
abusive
doing
to yourself?
Yeah.
I mean, listen, but it is. It's like Colin to me is like that. Like it's like that girlfriend that got mental disorders. 1 minute she up, next minute she down. And you don't know which one you're going to get. 1 minute he praising the hell out of the Lions and what the Lions is doing, and Stafford is this and Stafford is that. And then 2 minutes after that, you know what? Stafford, he can't hit the ball outside of a building. It's like, bro, what the hell what kind of medicine is you on? What's going on?
I need me some of that.
Yeah, it's so stupid. It doesn't even have any merits. Like I feel like he was sitting up there thinking of some names, and he just started naming people who actually been to a Super Bowl, so he can argue like, okay, well, what y'all can't say is. Like you know how somebody they get caught in the corner. You be like, man, name your top 5 players. Or I got them. Hold on. Let's see. There's That one dude. Yeah. And then you start rating off random people. What about him? He was a Super Bowl champ. Him. It's just so dumb that he would do this.
Pulled like random names out of a hat that were Super Bowl winners. I mean, I think that's kind of how it happened.
You think it came out of a hat? More like his ass. His ass he put it out of.
I'm not sure where he wears his hat, but you know.
Jared Goff. Name me a season. Jared Goff ain't had better seasons than Dak Prescott. So how is Jared? I don't know. You know what? What did Jared Goff do when Todd Gurley went down? Tell me that.
Nothing. Nada.
Right.
Yeah. These people better stop with this. It's irritating.
It is.
Yeah, you guys have pretty much said everything. Right, Ryder, was there something you wanted to throw in there as well?
Yeah, I lost all respect for Colin Kaepernick when he came out with his best arm talent, his top 5 quarterbacks with the best arm talent, because it's Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Kyler Murray, and Jared Goff. He thinks those are the. That was my reaction.
Wait, Colin Cowherd? Because you said Colin Kaepernick.
Oh, sorry, Colin. Sorry. I'm sorry.
I was really going to ask Ryder, like, wait a minute, Kaepernick is giving out lists now? What the hell is going on?
Well, at this point, he doesn't have anything else to
do. He said the best 5 arm talents in the NFL going into 2020 are Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Kyler Murray, and Jared Goff. And after I saw that, I lost all respect for Colin.
But I love this comment right here.
Is obsessed with Jared Goff because he went to Cal, so he thinks he's something that he's not. I told people Jared Goff was going to be a scrub from day one, and I told them Josh Rosen was going to be a scrub. I'm still right.
All NFL quarterbacks, though, man.
I just don't understand how he comes up with this stuff. I swear I don't. I feel like he literally just like got like a board. And he spit balls at it, and wherever it lands, that's what he's gonna say. Like
playing darts.
Like it's a top, like a top 5 quarterback list, but the spitball hit a running back. Yep, that's it. Le'Veon Bell, best arm I've seen, best by far. Nobody can spin it like that guy. I don't get it. This is what happens when you don't have real competition or people to put you in check, because he's on there by himself just talking. And I love his comment from the great one, Mike, where he says, who the hell really listens to Colin Cowherd? Sound like he's talking mostly in riddles, right? Like, what the hell? Like, 1 minute, I'm telling you, 1 minute he'd be sitting there telling you some stuff that you know you want to hear. Like, I know you're having a hard time with this thing, but the worst days are still ahead. Like, what? Was that supposed to be uplifting, or where were you going with this shit? Like, I just don't understand how he does this, and then he doesn't expect for people to do it. But he did his job because it got us talking about it, and it got us looking at it like this is what you came up with. Like, I'd rather have kidney stones than go through to talk about this list anymore. It's ridiculous.
Right. No, we are definitely over this list. And guys, we've been on for over an hour. It's about that time where we are going to answer your questions. We have a couple more questions to bring up, but if you guys want to start to throw in your questions down in the chat, we'd really appreciate it, and we'll get to it after we finish these 2 questions. And there's 35 people in the chat. There's 40 like a minute ago. I don't know where 5 of you went, but it's okay. But hit that like button is what I'm trying to say. All right, so right now we have another question. This one comes from actually JMO submitted this question. How do you guys, how good does the offensive line need to be ranking wise in order for us to run the ball consistently? Obviously, we've been infamous for not having a run game for so long for Stafford, and that during the times that we've had a run game, he has been very, very successful. So hopefully we'll have a 100-yard runner every single game and possibly 1,000-yard runner this season, or a combination of runners. But that's a good question, JMO. So we're going to start off with you. What do you think? How good does the offensive line need to be ranking wise in order for us to run the ball consistently?
Well, I don't know if it needs to be a certain ranking, but I will say this. I would like for it to be top 10. That way I can have faith in the line. And if we're top 10, then that means that Stafford isn't doing too much. That means the team is balanced, and that means our defense will probably at least be average to close above average. And I do want to have one of those offensive lines that when the playoffs show up, we still gonna be able to run the ball. They're not gonna fold. And like I said, the ranking doesn't matter. But if we were top 10, I would have no doubt that we would be able to run the football. In 2013, when we ran the football well with Reggie Bush, we were one of the best O lines. The O line was actually good that year. The defense wasn't, but the O line was. So, and I just feel like it's the same way with this season. Our O line needs to be, to me, it needs to be top 10. We need to have like the best O line in the division. I don't even know if we can do that, but that's what we need.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, top 10, that would be phenomenal. That would be great. That'd be great. I'm going to go real quick. I trust Darrell Bevell so much. I love this man because I've been waiting for a competent offensive coordinator that can call plays reasonably well for a long time. Linehan, when we had Linehan, I thought he was pretty damn good. Stafford was slinging the ball, and, we had some trouble at times with the interceptions because he might have been slinging it too much and in very tight windows too often. But I loved that gunslinger, put your foot to the pedal, type of mentality. And it seems like Bevell has that in his DNA because he can just call a bunch of run plays, and then he'll call play action, even when it's not even time to call play action, and then it's 80-yard pass to Kenny Golladay. I love that from Darrell Bevell. And I think that helps with the success of our run game. And obviously, he's had so much success with his previous offenses in Minnesota and Seattle. So I'm going to say that we need our offensive line to just be better than average, better than 50% of the teams. But top 10, if we're talking top 10, then my expectations for the run game is top 10 or more, top 5. Because we have DeAndre Swift, Kerryon Johnson, Bo Scarborough. We've invested so much into this run game. We got, New Mexico State or whatever his name is. We've invested so much into this run game.
Did you just call him New Mexico State?
What do you mean?
Jason Huntley.
His name is New Mexico State.
Right. Bradley Anae's, replacement is who I'm going to go call him. But Jim, what do you think about this? Obviously we've had troubles with the run game for years now. So how do you think our offensive line needs to perform ranking wise in order for our run game to be consistently well?
It's a trick question in a way because we have a lot of, we have a lot riding on injuries and stuff like that as well. So before I say what ranking we have to be, we got to make sure our running backs are healthy too. So I'm not avoiding the question. I'm just saying we have to look at different aspects. But if I had to answer this just based on offensive line, it had to be top 10. Have to be.
Interesting. All right. You got 2 top 10s and 1 just above 50%. Right or wrong? What about you, man? How do you think our O-line needs to do ranking wise in order to be consistent in the run game?
I mean, I don't know how much the rank matters, but like they need to play like they were playing in 2018 when Kerryon Johnson was averaging 5 yards a carry. Like that offensive line was opening up some pretty good holes for Kerryon to run through. And then obviously he got hurt and the run game kind of dipped after that. But like that offensive line was playing pretty solid. Like even last year, I didn't think we were that bad. And I think adding Logan Stenberg and Jonah Jackson right on that offensive line is going to open up a lot of things to the run game. So, I mean, I think above average, somewhere in the early teens would be a good spot. Top 10 would be ideal, obviously, but I don't think it needs to be anything crazy because, I mean, the offensive line the last couple of years, in my opinion, hasn't necessarily been the biggest problem. I feel like, it's been more the running backs getting hurt more so than the offensive line. But I think obviously you need a good offensive line. So I'd say 10 to 12, somewhere in there.
Okay. All right. So pretty consistent across the board, top 10-ish for the 3 of you guys. Luke, what about you? Do you agree with them? Do we need to be like a top 10 ranked offensive line in order for us to be successful in the run game consistently?
No. I don't think we need to be top 10. I don't think we need to be top 15. I don't even think we got to be top 20. We got to be goddamn healthy. Can we get healthy first? If you can stay healthy, then I don't really think it matters because the truth is this. You go back and look at some of the offensive line rankings during the Barry Sanders era. Sometimes the running back got to have the ability to take the opportunity of somebody just being in your way and win a one-on-one battle. So it's a 2-part combination. Yeah, the line can do its thing, especially on short yardages when you need that 1 yard or you need them hold up on a pass. I still think we're going to be a pass first team. But I think that the run that we have, like Ryder said, got to be efficient, and they got to be able to get him the gas where he getting those 5-yard carries. I mean, what was the offensive line rank for the 49ers? And they ran the ball effectively in the Super Bowl and through the playoffs. So to me, it wasn't so much if I care about the ranking as much as I care about, are we going to stay healthy? Those guys need to stay healthy because they don't need no setbacks. They need all the rest that they can get. And with reps means you get better. Now, if all that equates to you being the top 10, top 15 offensive line, who cares? But if they're a top 20, top 25 offensive line and we rush for 2,000 yards, who's really complaining? Nobody. So, and I hope PD's still in here. PD he'd be probably defining faster than I could. But what the year that Barry Sanders rushed for 2,000 yards rushing, what was the offensive line ranked then? I bet you it wasn't top 10. I could feel it in my spirit. It wasn't top 10. So I just think they just got to stay healthy. That's it. The rest of it will work itself out, and the running backs got to win the one-on-one matchups.
Yeah, that's a good point. Andrew, what about you, man? What do you think about the O-line, and do you think that we need, or where do you think the O-line needs to rank, relative to the other teams in order for us to have a consistently good run game this season?
I just want to say I love y'all, but you guys are all freaking tripping. I mean, look, top 10, top 15. Look, we had a top 15 offensive line last year, and we sucked at running the ball. We were basically a top 10 offensive line last year. So why would we need that same exact production for us to be consistent? I get the health thing. If your running backs are getting hurt and stuff, that blows. There's nothing you can do about it. And obviously your run game usually takes a hit. But when you look at other teams that have a very good offensive line, a top 5 offensive line, mind you, then that's where I'm going with this, top 5. Their backups are capable of performing just as well as their starters. Miles Sanders went down. Boston Scott balled out. Zeke, Tony Pollard. If you have a top 5 offensive line, it doesn't matter who your freaking running back is because they open up holes, dude. And as long as you have 2 legs and arms and you can carry that ball, you're going to get production. So that top 10, top 15, bro, no. You guys are freaking tripping. I love y'all, but no. If you have a top 5 offensive line like those teams, the Cowboys, the Eagles, and they are very effective at opening up holes, you see every single one of their running backs being productive. So if we lost Kerryon last year and we had Bo come in and, he would be able to take over and he'd be able to hit those same holes that were already being open. But if our offensive line is ranked middle of the pack or just around top 10, we're going to see the same crap we saw last year because like Right or Wrong said, Kerryon Johnson was running really damn good at the beginning of that season last year. What happened? The problem is we went inside with all our runs. We changed our schemes. We started running 2 tight end sets, and our average yards per carry plummeted. Give me a top 5 offensive line, and then we'll see consistent production from the running backs, regardless of who's there. And obviously, we have to take in health into account because our running backs have never been healthy. We have that curse. So without a top 5 offensive line, I don't see us being consistently productive.
I don't agree with. Well, first of all, I don't agree that we were a top 10 offensive line last year. I know that PFF ranked us that. I don't know how they possibly came up with that. Maybe in the later games, in the 8 games following Stafford's injury, when we were running with Bo Scarborough, maybe then that bolstered their stats and they possibly moved up the rankings for PFF. But when we were actually like contending with Stafford and everything, we couldn't really run the ball, and I don't really understand how you can name us a top 10 offensive line. And not just that, but you see other offensive lines, and they don't have to be top 10, and you see that team has a good run game consistently. So I don't believe that that's the case. I think that with Darrell Bevell, if we have our running backs healthy and our O-line serviceable, like I said, top 50%, I think that we will have a consistent run game. I don't think that it necessarily has to be top 5. Because listen, there's not only 5 teams with a good run game in the NFL. Because that'd be the case if it's only top 5 O-lines with the run game. No. So I don't subscribe to that. But whatever. It doesn't matter. You guys are throwing your.
Consistency is key, baby. Consistency is key, man. And I get what you're saying, but like, this is the Lions. And then on top of it, it's our run game. Like, it's not our passing game. This is something that we have been historically bad at. And we've had good offensive lines before. We've had really bad offensive lines. I just think that without having an elite O-line, nothing is going to change in terms of consistency. We may have great games here and there, but the consistency is not going to be there.
Wow. Hey, guys, this is breaking news. I just got this from Bleacher Report right now, unless I'm late. So you guys let me know if you guys already heard this. But the NFL wants a $40 million salary cap cut this year, and they have just proposed it to the NFLPA.
Oh, wow.
That's huge.
Maybe that's why we're not signing any free agents.
Yeah. There we go.
Hey, Kansas
That's
City just
huge.
took a huge hit. They're about to cut their whole team.
It's gonna be Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, and nobody else.
And that's it, yeah.
Hey, give me these players, man. Tyrann Mathieu, you're coming over, baby.
Right.
At least they might be healthy because they only have 3 players.
Right. And they'll be social distancing.
Yes.
But all right, guys, you guys are throwing your questions in the chat. That's great. Continue to do that. We have one more question proposed by the panelists today, so we're gonna get to that right now. Let me find that. Oh, okay, so JMO, also you proposed this question, so we're gonna go to you first. So, what's the biggest matchup this season that we need to be concerned with each of our divisional opponents? So why don't you start off with that one, JMO?
Well, looking at all the other teams in the division, I think we concerned a lot about us, but we got to go out and win the division. We got to focus on these other teams' strengths and how they can exploit us. And when you go over to the green ones, I would just say it's simple as Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, and stopping that pass rush. The key to beating Green Bay, I've seen over the years when we have beat them, it's making Aaron Rodgers uncomfortable and stopping their offensive line from running the football. Because whenever we can put Aaron Rodgers under pressure, he cowers like a frightened little girl, and we win. So, it's the truth, man. Like, it's the truth.
Fake an injury.
Man, you saw Deshaun Hand, man. Deshaun Hand blew on him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm going to the locker room." Like, I'm like,
I have never seen a player carted off the field and then brought back in the same game as much as Aaron Rodgers.
That's true.
No, but I think those are things you have to worry about, and we actually have to worry about Devin Funchess. Now that they got Devontae Adams, Devin Funchess, he's a good enough receiver for Aaron Rodgers to be able to use him effectively. So he's somebody you have to worry about. Then when it goes to the Bears, obviously, you have to worry about the Bears defense, of course, Khalil Mack and them boys. They're front seven. The Bears is all front seven. I know on offense that they're going to try, whether it's Trubisky or it's Foles. I just don't think that offense is going to be ever more of a threat than that defense. The defense will always be that front seven. So if we can stop them, then we'll be able to win. And then when it comes to the Vikings, man, you got to stop Dalvin Cook and that receiving core. I know they lost everybody and they got some rookies or whatever, but I still think that offense will be good. I think, is Kyle Rudolph still there or no? But I've not. They still got Irv Smith. Yeah, they got Kyle Rudolph and Irv Smith at tight end, which is pretty good. So you just stop that offense, because I think the defense, they revamped it or whatever, but I think now they're going to be an offensive-led football team, the Vikings. I think that defense is not going to be as good as their offense. So you have to stop Dalvin Cook if he decides to play. If Dalvin Cook doesn't decide to play, then you shut down Adam Thielen. But I'm looking at the matchups because we have problems all over the defense. And besides the Bears, you notice I named a lot of offense. So it's some things that we were really going to have to work out on that side of the ball.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of matchups, definitely, for sure, that we need to pay attention to in our division. I see this comment right here, Die Hard Den Podcast. Are you guys familiar with this guy? Does this guy have a channel?
Yeah, man. What's up?
Yeah. He has a podcast.
Oh, what's going on, man? Happy to have you here in the chat. I appreciate you, and also One Pride Nation as well. I was just told today that he has a channel as well. So, guys, check them out as well. And obviously, if you guys want to come on the roundtable and talk some sports, man, let us know for sure. Hit us up on Twitter or anything like that. But yeah, we're going to get to everybody's questions as well. But Jim, what do you think about the matchups in our division? And what do you think is the biggest matchup that we need to be concerned with each of our divisional opponents?
It has to be Green Bay. We have to match up against the refs. And I'll tell you,
Right.
that has not worked out well for us in the past few years. So if you look at the 12th man, I mean, they have 12 against 11, and you know what I'm saying? And so I think that's the biggest matchup that we have to deal with is Green Bay and the refs.
Yeah, that you know what? I'm going to subscribe to that as well. I will jump on that as well because that, to me, it hurts me so much. And I think that's the matchup that is unavoidable. It's unavoidable because you can catch some players on a bad game. You can catch Devontae Adams on a bad game one day. You can catch Kirk Cousins on a bad day. But those refs, they'll never let you down. They, as a Lions fan, they will destroy your hope every single time. You can count on it. So I'm with you, Jim. That's the matchup.
I mean, those refs will literally allow you to stop Aaron Rodgers and then give him the ball back, and then he throws a Hail Mary on you. So
exactly.
Those refs
with zero time on the clock,
will put time back on the clock. Those refs will give Golden Tate a messed up touchdown, and because they got it wrong, now we don't get another play. Those refs will watch Trey Flowers switch his hand position, so you can't call holding when it wasn't holding in the first place, and they still call it. I can't, man. I can't.
But I think I'm not scared of anybody in this division. I see holes in every single team. So it's like I don't like us. I like us against the Bears because I think it's offense versus defense, and I don't think their offense is great. So I don't see that as a horrible matchup. But Green Bay, they don't scare me either, to be honest. I don't think they're wonderful in every category either. And Minnesota's kind of in a weird rebuild type thing. They still have some veteran players, but they also have Kirk Cousins, so that kind of equals it out. So I'm not scared of any of these teams. None of them. I really ain't. I really don't. But the biggest matchup for me is the Bears game 1. Why? Because it sets the tone for the rest of the season. Okay.
Again, man, you are taking the words out of my mouth. That is that matchup to me is the most critical game. If we lose that game, to me, the season's completely over. Right or wrong, what do you think about our divisional opponents, first of all? And then, what do you think are the biggest matchups that we should be concerned about with each of our divisional opponents?
I mean, in my opinion, it's the same for all three, and it's can our offensive line hold up against their pass rush? Because the Smith brothers last year, they had a ton of sacks. Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn are obviously very good pass rushers, and then the Vikings still got Danielle Hunter on the defensive line, who we always seem to struggle against. So my thing is just, can we keep Stafford upright? Can we keep him off his back? Can we keep him on his feet? Because if Stafford is on his feet, if number 9 is up there and not on the ground, like, your team always has a chance to win the football game. And I mean, Stafford's been hit. He's been sacked more than pretty much anybody else since he's entered the league. And I mean, if we could just keep him upright, then we're gonna have a chance to win every football game.
Yeah, no, I agree with that for sure. And then we do have to win the trenches. That is a fact. Andrew, what about you, man? What do you think about our divisional opponents, and what do you think are the biggest matchups we need to be concerned about for all of our opponents in the division?
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with what you guys have said so far. But for me, it's stopping the run, man, with all three teams. Every single time we let up, on defense, when we allow the running back to take control of the game, no matter who we're playing, we get blown out, man. Our defense doesn't stop a single thing. They have their way. It seems like we don't even have a team on defense, and these guys are literally just playing in a freaking warm-up because they're able to drive down the field with ease. So, I mean, you have Aaron Jones and Dalvin Cook on 2 of these teams. If you can't stop them, it's going to be real hard to win that game. So I definitely think run defense is a huge factor in it because I'm not worried about their passing attack. And then with the Bears, it's a little bit different. I'm not worried about their offense whatsoever. I think their run game is definitely going to take a huge step forward. But, that front seven, man, if we are able to exploit the outside of their defense and go deep with a lot of things, I think we'll be able to win that matchup.
All right. Luke, last one, but definitely not least, man. What do you think about our divisional opponents, and what do you believe are the biggest matchups that we should be concerned about with each of them?
With the Vikings, in my opinion, the matchup should be our offense exposing their young, new, fresh secondary. If we can't expose that secondary, pack up the bags. Call in sick. I don't know, play hooky, whatever. But to me, with the Vikings, we got to be able to expose that secondary. So I want to see how our offensive receiver group expose that secondary. We have to. Like, I think that, they got some good talent over there. I do like Cameron Dantzler. But if they start off with 2 rookie corners and you got veteran receivers who can't get separation or burn rookie corners, we need prayer. With the Green Bay Packers, I don't think we need to do anything. I think we need to do the same thing we did last year. I thought that their little defense was overrated. The Smith brothers is overrated. I know Za'Darius Smith is decent, but it's a bunch of overrated trash. And like everything else that got film on it, it'll be killed same as much. I'm not concerned about them. They didn't like Aaron Jones out here breaking runs left to right, so he's not a factor. Although let Madden tell you he's the second coming of Gale Sayers or somebody. What the hell? His rating is high. So the Bears, to me, you have to keep that defensive front seven off of the quarterback. You have to do that, because if you can't win that matchup, then we in for a whole lot of problems. So to me, I want to make sure that we're able to beat that front seven, because if you could beat that front seven, I think the offense is not like, I love Montgomery. He's a guy I wanted the Lions to take. I know how he runs and how he gets down, but outside of Montgomery, I ain't scared. And we don't know who they tight end gonna be. They got 100 of them. Seriously. So to me, it's not much. The Lions' biggest competition right now is the Lions. Don't beat yourself and you can win. That's how I see it.
All right. Everybody had good points. I think everybody had a different thing to say as well, but I think we all pretty much collectively hit every single matchup and problem that the Lions are going to face this season. But guys, we've been on for an hour and 30 minutes. Now it's time to get to your questions. You guys have dropped quite a few in the chat, so thank you for that. But continue to do so, because we'll keep going as long as you guys keep posting those questions. So the first one right here is from One Pride Nation, and he says, "Do you guys blame Martin Mayhew for all of the Lions' problems?" No. I don't personally. The biggest thing I criticize Martin Mayhew for is not taking Aaron Donald. I think that's what a lot of people do, and then not keeping Ndamukong Suh and Nick Fairley, even though you didn't draft Aaron Donald. Like, there's 2 things that can't happen at the same time. But I think a lot of the things that get blamed from Martin Mayhew were from Matt Millen. So I don't blame everything on Martin Mayhew.
Yeah, but if Mayhew drafted Aaron Donald and kept Suh, then we would probably have a Super Bowl.
Exactly. I'm saying that
you
is
could
what I blame him
I'm just saying you could blame him for all of our problems if you wanted to, because he could have fixed all of our problems. But I understand if you don't. But he drafts Aaron Donald. We already have Suh. When they were together, they literally went to a freaking Super Bowl. So this is prime. Yeah,
definitely. We were in cap hell at the time. I will say that. I'll give them that, because we've done a great job recently with Rod Wood and Bob Quinn, keeping our cap. Our cap relatively, reasonable and manageable, and all of our salaries manageable as well. Because I remember, when we drafted Matt Stafford, that was still during the time when we were paying quarterbacks a ridiculous amount of money on their rookie contracts, and we had 60% of our cap tied into 3 players, and then the rest was for 50 players. So we were in cap hell at the time. So I understand why they had to let go of Suh. But at the same time, I don't, because he's so damn good. And then how do you not draft Donald if you're going to get rid of Suh? So to me, that is, that's fire worthy. But
I'm
I don't blame him for all of our questions. Go ahead, Luke.
Yeah, I'm a little different. I don't think Mayhew is blamed for all of the problems. We could certainly blame Matt Millen for a lot of the problems. We can go through the list of Matt Millen for it. But I'm a big believer in with Mayhew. Mayhew had a lot of good drafts, and we just don't realize it. He's picked up some good players. The problem was, like always, we don't utilize them. And the truth is, the cap problems came from the Calvin Johnson deal. That's why I was like, listen, receivers come a dime a dozen. Sometimes you got to just tell them to move on with the receivers. I know we don't like to say that, but hell, the 49ers moved on from Jerry Rice. So,
You saying that about Galladay right now? What do you think about Galladay?
I'm saying that about Calvin Johnson. Now, with Galladay, I'm telling you right now, looking at this year's draft, they could have got a receiver to take over for anybody. It was a lot of receivers in here. This is one of the reasons why I was mad about the Danny Amendola deal, which I'm gonna leave that one alone today because I can't take it. But I'm just saying that a lot of the stuff that Mayhew did was not as bad as people think. If you just go back and you look at it, yes, was he perfect? No, but it wasn't as bad. He brought in some talented people who could be transcendent players and lights out players. I just think to blame him all of it, no. They problem started when they decided to tell Wayne Fontes goodbye. That's where they problem started. And it's been an ownership issue. When you go back and you trade a guy who got you a championship, you trade him afterwards like we don't need him. But receivers to me are replaceable. I thought they should have moved on from Calvin Johnson, but Calvin Johnson put people in the seats, and that was the biggest mistake Mayhew made, in my opinion.
Okay. I mean, does anybody else want to comment on this one?
Nope.
All right. I think all of our opinions were encapsulated in that. All right. So Peace and Quiet asks us, what? Okay, I think he means when do you think Kenny Galladay gets signed? JMO, you want to take this one?
I asked that and say sign Kenny Galladay at the end of every show. I really don't know. The NFL is they're trying to cut $40 million out the salary cap. So for all we know, they don't pay. I don't know what's gonna happen with Kenny Galladay. But I'm steady asking and I'm steady upset about it. But I would say in August, if I was to guess, sometime in August, maybe.
Yeah. I think anybody here, I think it's a guess from anybody. But does anybody want to give their guess?
I honestly think, okay. I know I'm coming off as the a-hole of the show today, but hey, I'm just gonna tell y'all the truth. I honestly think that they try to wait until the end of the season. And I think by that point, he gonna be on some Jerry Maguire, show me the money, or he out of here.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
I do not think that they're going to sign him right now because right now they're asking players. They're talking about possibly having players take pay cuts. So if you're going to be telling people to take pay cuts, and you're telling me I can have him play on this low end deal, why am I going to pay him in the mid-season? I mean, are they going to make the same mistake that the Cowboys are making with their quarterback? You're going to wait to the absolute end and not be able to pay him. And that's one thing I gave credit to Kansas City for. Like, yeah, Patrick Mahomes had 2 years on that deal. They was like, hurry up and read him up right now. We don't even want him to feel like we don't care about him. They showed it up right then and there. And to me, I think the Lions is going to do what the Lions been doing and try to sign him at the end of the year. And he's going to be looking like, okay, I better be getting paid top 5 receiver money or I'm out. Because if he's not going to get paid top 5 receiver money, he might as well go somewhere where he can win the championship. That's my view.
Well, I'm sure he's already asking for top 5 receiver money. There's no way he's not, down. Or at least his agent is. But I think that even without COVID, if you take that off the table, I think that they're still going to wait until after the season because, like at least Martha, when she was the head of this, she said it was a win now year. So if they don't perform and they're out of here, I mean, why would they sign someone to a long-term extension if like they're in a win now year and they're on the hot seat and they might not even be here next year? So
right.
I don't think they even want to make decisions for that distant into the future if they don't even know that their job's secure for that long. But all right, does anybody else have anything to say about Galladay? All right, I'll take that as a no. So,
Yep.
Broken Lion 69 says, "Do you guys think they will still do a 7th playoff spot with the shortened season?" That's a good question. I have
It's
no
a damn
idea.
good question. They are.
Yeah.
They are. It's written in, so there's no way for them to like. If they're going to shorten the season, they're going to shorten it. But it's written in. It's agreed upon. And when you have something agreed upon that's been stamped, and both parties signed, the PA has signed on with it too, and you want to try to decide that, well, you know what? Given the circumstance, I want to do this different. All those clauses for outs and adjustments are in writing. Anything outside of that is not going to fly. And now what you have is an issue with the union, and they don't want them problems because all the union got to do is go to court and simply show the judge, here's what the contract says. So this team should be in based on what we agreed upon for the 7th. So yes, I think it will still be one.
All right. Danathy Goodwin, he says, or she says, I'm not sure. Do you see players, for example, Dalvin Cook, just using the COVID opt out if they are having contract problems instead of holding out? Yeah, I definitely see that. Why not? Definitely. Yeah. You use whatever you can for the negotiating table, right?
Well, they don't look like the bad guy either. Then they're like, oh, I don't want to get sick. Like,
right.
Right. And take it a step further. Hell, before COVID started, if I didn't want to go to work, you'd be surprised some of the things I would say. I had butterflies in my house. Whatever I come up with is gonna happen. If they don't want, if they want a contract and they got a perfectly good excuse in front of them, who's gonna argue with that? Now the other part of it is they can still do something because that contract still say that they can maintain those rights. So yeah, they can do that. But now you're talking about a guy been out a year, and now they're gonna be like, well, you ain't played for a year. You don't lost a step, and you older. So it's a calculated gamble. But I suspect that some players will use it.
I think
you know what though. I'm gonna be interested to see what happens. Like, let's say we don't have a season. Are they gonna count those years as if they played them in terms of their contract?
There's already a clause that says that they just go the other year like the year didn't exist.
So you're saying like if we signed Danny Amendola to a year, that means that if we don't
still have him for the next year, we never played the season. It's almost like the season was never played. And
yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to double check on that because I was like, man,
this is gonna suck for career stats. This is really going to suck, guys. Like when we're looking at Stafford's career or like anybody that's playing right now, we're going to have to know that they had an entire year off, that they might have played a year longer worth of stats. Yeah. But sorry, Jim. Yeah. Sorry for interrupting.
So that's D'Anthony Goodwin, I'm pretty sure.
I'm sure too.
So he said, do you see players like Dalvin Cook? This is such a good question because right now everything's up in the air and all this stuff. But man, they put into the CBA, making it harder for people to hold out. So yeah, so if people are going to take this out. Of course, they're going to take this out because they put it in the CBA that made it a lot harder for players to hold out. So now, heck yeah, they're going to take this excuse. Heck yeah.
Yep. And the truth is, they don't even got to say they got COVID-19. They just got to say they're high risk for it. That's it.
Or they have a high risk person at home or something.
Yep, that's it. That's all they need. They just need to be able to say they high risk. If they come out and say, "Oh, I got a pre-existing condition," then lo and behold, here comes the problem. I feel it's real convenient, but it's the best convenience possible for a lot of these players. And I suspect that most of these players is going to look at that as an option.
Yeah, 100%. All right, next question. So, One Pride Nation again. Are you guys watching this from the club? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that question is.
Yeah, the DSA club, bro.
That's right. Detroit Sports Alliance in the building.
Yep.
I was like, what is Jim about to say right now? That's funny. All right, Kool-Aid and Cornbread. What up, man? DSA, will Kerryon Johnson end the season as a Lion?
I just want to
Yeah,
see him end the season on the field.
Yes,
that's
as a Lion, man. I'm about to be like, let's go to Jim first. But
Yeah, you should go to me first because that was funny. Will Kerryon Johnson end the season as a Detroit Lion? Well, he may be in Lions colors or he may be in street clothes. I don't really know. I think he'll still be on the team, though. I think they like that 2-back set. And I think trades are going to be limited because of this new salary cap thing. And I think a lot of transactions right now are going to be put on hold.
Yeah, they've already reporting that they're getting ready to gear up to report a loss in revenues because a lot of the production has not been there. But I gotta be honest, the idea that I put it this way: if Matt Patricia is still head coach, yes, Kerryon's going to be a Lion. If Matt Patricia is not the head coach, I suspect Kerryon's time could be limited, if not done, because a lot of the things that people want out of their running backs require them to do a little bit more. And while Kerryon has some ability, he's very limited with the injury history, and his blocking is not up to par on what most teams would like at this point. So
Yep.
I just don't see it.
I don't think they would get rid of him. Not in the middle of the season, like at the end of the year when it comes to, paying out a contract or something, maybe something like that.
I absolutely don't think they'd get rid of him. I don't see the benefit of that at all. But because he's not gonna get a lot of value in a trade or anything like that. But yeah, or even cutting him would just make even less sense because you invested a 2nd-round pick in him. And yeah, even though he's been hurt, like I don't know, test him out. I guess like one more year would have to do it for me. But anyway, okay. So Shad216JF, he says, do you guys think that the players get lazy? Do you guys think that players get lazy or sabotage plays on purpose just to get the coach in trouble and fired? I mean, maybe that's happened in the past, but I don't think that. Players need to play for themselves in order for them to get a contract. They are playing for themselves and their families and the boys that they came up with. You know what I mean? They see this as an opportunity of a lifetime, as they should, and they wouldn't sabotage or be lazy on plays for something petty like that. Maybe a couple of them, but I don't think.
Well, I mean, not coaches, but if I look up this question in the dictionary, I see Snacks Harrison's name right by it. But that's just me.
So you think he purposely played bad or was lazy?
Look at his numbers. Look at the production, how it went down. Then he says he's going to retire. And then he says he's going to play again. And then he said he didn't want to play for us in the first place, that he tried to get out of the trade. Absolutely, I think he did.
Okay.
Jim just gave Snacks that ether, man. I'm waiting for a response.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. You don't want to be on my team, you can leave. That's fine. There's a door right there. Don't let it hit anyone.
Yeah.
Right.
No, hey, that's.
But then we got people like Devon Kennard who loves our team and our regime, and then we just give him the middle finger. So
yes, absolutely.
Don't even
the hate goes both ways, J-Mo.
I just think it's funny. The people that we don't want to be here, we like, yeah, we're gonna invest everything in you. But the people who ride for you, those are the ones that you backstab.
Yep.
Right.
Ain't that right, Bob Quinn? Because he done did that a lot. Like he done did that a lot. But that's a whole nother conversation.
But it's a good one.
Yeah.
Right.
It needed to be brought up. I think that too. But that was a good point, J-Mo.
Here's a good question here brought up by the missus.
Yep.
Who do you choose as head coach or GM if Patricia, Bob Quinn get fired? Anyone have any, guesses or anything?
Jim Schwartz.
That's what I was going to say. Is this fantasy or real?
Well, let me jump in here really quick and hit this question up because I know we're finna get off in a few. But to answer that question, I do believe that it still happens where people do things bad in a way of trying to get out of a place or to try to get a coach fired. I think those things still happen in the same way you get workers who do crappy stuff at jobs to try to get supervisors in trouble and so forth and so on. I think that stuff still do exist. Now, if he's talking about, are they going to do that this year? No, people are playing for contracts. But yes, they're going to be, and there are going to be some people who are going to try to test that, like the Jacksonville Jaguars DN. Watch him. Watch. He's already made it clear he ain't stepping on that field. And if he is, watch how he magically do it. And I think, honestly, Ziggy Ansah did it to us. I really do.
Yeah.
So just food for thought.
Okay. All right. Well, Luke, do you have any guesses on who we would choose as our head coach or GM if Bob Quinn and Patricia get fired?
Are you talking about mid-season or overall?
Yeah.
I believe overall.
No. I got a few ideas of who I want, but no, I don't have an idea of who they would go with at this point, because it's you're talking about having a whole new GM. The more I know about the GM, the more I can tell you about who the person is.
Am I the only one here that doesn't want Quinn fired, even if Patricia gets fired?
I'm with you, man.
I'm with you.
I don't think Quinn's.
No, you're not you're not the only one,
Okay,
man.
cool.
Like
Yeah,
Bob
no,
Quinn is pissed me off more in free agency than he has in the draft. Put it like that. And in free agency, he's pissed me off a lot. But in the draft, I'll never forget his first season though, when we needed wide receivers. We had lost Calvin Johnson, and he went out there. He got Anquan and Marvin, and we was rolling. So
yeah,
you
that
know,
was good.
Sure.
Yeah, but then in the draft, he got a long snapper, but he drafted Graham Glasgow too. So it's
and he got rid of Graham Glasgow too.
Yeah, right. So I'm just saying, and now we stuck with Taylor Decker.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he's gonna. I think he should go with Quinn. I think the whole program should go. If the experiment has failed, it's failed. And there's part of me when this first started, when they called, we were gonna be the Patriots of the the East or whatever, or West. I'm sorry, but when that first started, I was like, dang, I really think we need to have our own identity and not someone else's, because we've been doing that for quite a while. And I want our own identity. And I think I would really want someone, if they are fired, someone that could bring our own identity rather than bringing in another system like Mike Martz and, and all that other stuff, and the New Orleans system that was brought in, and, all these other attempts at being somebody else instead of being ourselves.
Well, that's probably why most of us would like Jim Schwartz, because he would take us right back to what we are.
Yep.
And, obviously there's better coaching candidates out there, but I would just give it a go. If it don't work, then go out there and get somebody else. But I would give him a chance, man. I really would.
You'd give Jim Schwartz a chance?
Yes, I would. Yes.
How would you guys like a Jim Schwartz?
You live and you learn, man.
Yes, that would be amazing.
What you mean? Yeah. I like that combo 1,000 times more than Matt Patricia Darrell Bevel combo. I'll tell you that right now. Jim Schwartz and his fire. Oh, that defense gonna be fired up.
Yep.
Come on, man. Playing lifestyle.
It's crazy to hear this now, but I agree with you guys for sure. But it's just crazy to think this. When just a few years ago we were onto Caldwell and saying goodbye to Schwartz. But okay, so Die Hard Den podcast has another question. So do you think the NFL is handling the COVID protocols correctly? I think the players should be in quarantine right now. I mean, what are they gonna do? They're not having them doing anything right now, right? They're not doing anything. They're not even in training camp yet. So what is NFL supposed to do?
I think they're supposed to buy them little houses and then just put bubble wrap around it.
Right. Everybody's a bubble boy.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. I think the testing is the most important part. But the problem is a lot of these tests, they test negative and everything's fine. And then I've been seeing a lot of the things where the tests come back positive later. And it was always positive. It's a false negative. And that's dangerous, because if you're testing all the time and the tests aren't right, that's a whole different bag of worms, or whatever the heck it's called. It really is. And I think that this is the toughest part of this whole thing about sports is, like baseball, you have players, but they're distanced, for the most part. In all these other sports, there's not as many people to bring along. In football, you bring along, 53 people that are on the team. Then you have water boys, coaches, people who think they're coaches, that type of thing. All those people together, not being able to be socially distanced and all this stuff. It's going to be very difficult to have a season that way. But do the NFL handle it correctly? I don't know. I don't know what the right way is to handle it.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like,
Did we lose everybody, or am I the only one left?
I'm definitely here.
No, man. We just letting you talk, man.
Yeah. Well, no, we liked what you had to say, but I agree. But there's, other leagues doing some things. Like UFC has their island, right? They're doing
I was
something.
just done. And I'm like,
Yeah. I mean, there's that. I mean, NBA is doing that Disney World thing. So, like, is there any way that the NFL might do something like that, where they just like isolate the players in one general area and like nobody can leave, and only people that are tested negative can come in, or I don't know, something like that. Maybe whatever it takes to get the league going is what I want. Yeah. Anybody have any other?
Yeah. Okay. So, like, what happened to everybody?
I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, but no, I mean, no, that's what I would want, but I don't.
Yep.
I think they're gonna watch what the NBA does, and when they're gonna watch what the NBA and how baseball does, because the NFL it has the most players. Baseball has a lot of players, but like Jim said, they're spread apart. So in the NFL, you got to touch the ball like every play and just do all this other stuff. So I just think we all want football, but I think they'll figure it out somehow.
All right. Yeah, no, I agree with that. All right. Last question, and then we will wrap up. So Steve-O asks, okay, question. Did anybody hear about the Redskins paying off the refs? I listened to we didn't even talk about the Redskins name change, but I mean, there's nothing really to talk about there. But paying off the refs, guys, like if there are teams paying off the refs, the only thing I'm mad about is that the Lions aren't also paying off these fucking refs because they're screwing us.
I mean, but hold on for a second.
That's why
it's the Redskins though, and they don't win, so obviously it's not working.
No. If it's them, that means it's a bunch of other teams, in my opinion. Definitely the Packers, definitely the Patriots, for sure. Like,
Lions too cheap to help out their own team. You think they're gonna pay for some refs, man? You gotta put refs on the payroll.
Maybe Bezos should buy this. Why'd they spend $100 million on screens? Pay $100 million to the refs so that we win a Super Bowl. Damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but guys, that's all we have for you guys today. We've been on for nearly 2 hours. It's been an awesome show. Thank you to everybody on the panel. Thank you to everybody in the chat. You guys are amazing. If you have not hit that like button, go ahead and do that. Also, there's, if you click on the channels tab on our channel, you will see all of the members of the DSA. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, there might be one or two new members that are not added, but I will add those. But anyway, subscribe to everybody in the DSA. This was an awesome roundtable. We're going to get to the closing thoughts right now. Right or wrong, man. Say your goodbyes to the people in the chat, man.
Man, I had so much fun tonight, dude. We laughed a ton. We had a very good time. Or at least I had a fantastic time tonight. This is one of the best shows we had, in my opinion. I laughed a lot, had a great time, and, these are always fun. So
I appreciate that, man. I had a good time, too. Glad to have you, as always. Jim, what are your final thoughts to the people in the chat, bro?
Now, Jim,
all right.
Celebrate your Super Bowl wins, people.
Hey, repeat that, Jim, because we cut out.
Okay, I said celebrate your Super Bowl wins, people. I don't care how we get there. Please celebrate we have never won a Super Bowl, and you're telling me if they put an asterisk around it, I don't care. They can put periods, exclamation points, whatever they want to put. I'm celebrating that championship, and that's my final thoughts for tonight. Thanks, everybody, for being with us tonight and having fun. This is a great, fun show. Thank you, Rio, for hosting for us tonight. And I really appreciate everyone in the DSA, on the panel, and in the chat. And you guys have a wonderful night.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate the kind words. Andrew, why don't you say goodbye to the people in the chat as well?
Yeah, I'm definitely on the same page as Right or Wrong. Fantastic show. Had a lot of fun. I almost didn't show up because I've been busy, but I'm glad I did. So, just want to show the people in the chat some love. Appreciate y'all and appreciate all your questions. And make sure you hit that like button on your way out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. JMO, we are trying to get JMO to 1,000 subscribers. So go subscribe to JMO right now. You'll be part of the, you'll be a day one subscriber pretty much because he's going to blow up anyway. And you're going to want to be there and say, I was there before he was even 1,000. All right. So JMO, say your goodbyes to people in the chat, man.
Man, it was a fun show. It's always good to talk Lions football on the roundtable, man. Shout out to everybody that came through. Make sure you guys like the video. If you didn't check out the last roundtable we did, it is on my channel. And I do want to say I'm very concerned about a lot of things, like the fact that we got people on the panel who don't think we're gonna pay Kenny Galladay. You know what I'm about to say. So I'm very, very concerned because if we don't pay Kenny Galladay till the end of this season, then yeah, he's not gonna be on this team no more. We need to be drafting three, 4, 5 receivers. But I just had a good time with you guys. As always, I'm gonna just say it. Sign Kenny Galladay before I actually lose my mind. Like for real.
All right, you had to say it. Luke, I'm going to have you go last, as always, because I like your final words at the end.
For sure.
So, again, subscribe to One Pride Nation as well. He has a YouTube channel, and he's growing. But, yeah, man, reach out to us as well if you want to come on here ever and just, shoot the shit and talk some Lions. And Die Hard Den podcast, this is the first time I've heard of you, but clearly the guys on the panel have. Subscribe to him as well and find his podcast because, yeah, we love to support every single Lions content creator out there. That's what the DSA is about. It's a great community. It's been amazing for all of us, and I just appreciate everybody in the DSA and what we do, and I appreciate everybody that shows out every single time. Every single time we had almost 40 people consistently throughout the entire broadcast. So I just love having you guys here, and I appreciate it. So if you're a real Detroit Lions fan and you have not subscribed yet to my channel and Andrew's channel, please go on to the channel and subscribe, and you'll rock with us. And we are building that community of real diehard Detroit Lions fans. But Luke, take it away, man, with your final thoughts.
All right, as always, people, it's been a pleasure. Definitely be ready to rock and roll on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But let me get right into this positive quote because I am still on the clock. Today's positive quote comes from one of my favorite characters of all time and one of my favorite TV shows, The Family Guy, a.k.a. Peter Griffin. That's right. Peter Griffin. He makes this point that I thought stood out from an episode I heard, and he says, I guess we learned that no matter who you are, where you come from, life is still terrible. In other words, life does not give two flying nickels what you look like or what you come from or anything like that. The direction in which it takes is going to be the way that you can control it. So my positive quote to you is become the masters of your ship. Let that ship sail in a direction that brings prosperity, happiness, and joy, and leave all the negative stuff behind you. The problem with people is they spend too much time looking behind themselves and they find themselves tripping up while running forward. But if you just keep your attention and your focus on what's in front of you, there's no way you can stumble. That in and of itself is being a damn good captain. Now, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you subscribe to all the members of the DSA. And as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research.